going to make overalls for a doll using fabric, hook and eyes, needle and thread, and a sewing machine. To make these overalls, I'm using a thin blue jean material. However, cotton prints can work as well, or even an old denim shirt. I start by using a doll as a guide. Cut a rectangle of fabric that can fit around the widest part of the doll's leg. Add a finger width of space for a seam allowance and trim off the excess. With the good side facing down, place it on the doll just above the waistline, leaving space for the hem. Mark the inseam, then sketch a line with a curve. Fold it in half, make marks on the other side so you can flip it over and draw the line. So the curved line is on both sides. And I'm actually going to make a pattern by tracing this onto a piece of felt. And I cut away at the curve so that I can trace it onto a piece of fabric, so I can make another one. Now I want to add some detail using stitching. So I turn them over, placing the pattern on top. I make some notes of where I may want some extra stitching to be. Using a pencil or chalk, sketch it out. To sketch the side seam, sketch a line for a pocket. Then using a needle and thread, I begin to stitch over my lines. And I enter the fabric just a little bit ahead of my last stitch and then go down right in front of that prior stitch. And I just continue using small stitches going all the way up the line. Cut small squares, fold over, and hem the top. I can even stitch a design in the center. Fold over the sides, then sew it in place. Turn under and hem the bottom. Place the fabric good side to good side, then sew along the curve on the front side. Trim off the excess fabric so the two pieces are now joined. Cut a rectangle of fabric, leaving space for a seam allowance all the way around. Make another small pocket, sew it to the front of the rectangle, fold over and hem the sides, fold over and hem the top. Take the unfinished edge and line it up with the top of the pants. When it's in the middle of the center seam, begin to stitch it straight across. And I want it right in the middle of that center seam. Sew a straight line across, right at the top hemline. Cut a long thin strip, fold in the sides, sew two lines all the way down, cut it in half to make two. With the good side facing down, lay them onto the pants, lining up the top edge right above the pocket. Sew a straight line at that top hem, flip all the attached pieces up, allowing it to fold over the top hem. Sew across the top, and I chose to sew a double line. Then I fold the fabric over, lining up the side edge, and sew along the drawn line. I place it on the doll and make any necessary adjustments. And I needed to shorten the top bib and take in the back seam to make it a little more fitted. Trim off the excess, take the ends, and line them up. Sew a line straight across, and I chose to go back and forth a few times to reinforce the stitch. To make the legs, turn it right side out, place it on the doll. I cross the straps in the back, take the strap over the shoulder to measure for length, fold it over, sew an eye onto the end, and a hook onto the bib. Trim off the excess, use a nail file to add distress, then fasten the hook and eye. Adjust the size and length to fit your doll, and you're done.
Happy crafting!
We want to give a shout out to Epic Pixie 123. What's up? Alright Minka, it's time for your art lesson. Step 1, look the part. I look fabulously artsy. Step 2, paint that bowl of fruit. I wonder where she's going. Teaching a monkey to paint might be a little more difficult than I thought.